Good morning. Welcome to Community Voice. I'm your host, Keith Parris. I want to thank everybody for joining us this morning. Good morning, Clark Kent.
Who you with?
Hey, what's happening, man? Jermaine Rideout, what's happening?
Bishop, chairman of the board, superintendent.
Yeah, I'm here.
Chia. Dude, these mosquitoes had a buffet on me, Jack. Look at that. Man, they went nuts on me,
Where are
man.
you the two? Yeah, we didn't have mosquitoes all summer because it's been so hot and dry.
Yeah.
Just enough water, enough pools out there for those mosquitoes to start breeding.
Man, they went crazy. Man, it was like one of them took a bite, was like, hey, man.
And I went to the last concert they had there, St. Joseph's last night.
Oh.
Debo's band played.
I forgot about that,
And
man.
I didn't wear any cologne because the hornets are out,
Oh, yeah. God.
so, and they're attracted to, and the flies are attracted to.
So is it the brown hornet or the green hornet? Which one was out? Which one? The picture of the brown hornet.
I saw Brenda and she was laughing. She said that you got right out when you said that Keon was in the arms of the Lord, and I hope she embraced him.
Oh man,
she said you got him.
you did something to me. You did something to my blood.
Hey, Meech, people be listening. Did your blessed grandfather take his Social Security check? Because if he took his Social Security check, that's socialism. Okay. If he took a Social Security check and he signed up for Medicare, that's socialism.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I just thought I'd say that.
Yeah.
Words, you got to look them up, y'all.
Yeah.
You got to look them up.
And that's the thing, because a lot of people use wordplay and they'll play on the words and have you thinking one thing when it's really another. So you really, you're right. You got to look them up and know.
Yeah, I mean, it's we go on. We spend so much time with adults getting them to unlearn stuff, and because we what did they say at Woodstock? There's some bad acid going around. Like we get a hold of something, man, and we just go with it. Yesterday, I was having a conversation with one of our colleagues down at WVON in Chicago, and he asked me a question that I'm supposed to come back with an answer for today. For him, he wanted to know, will good Francesca Hahn move young people to get involved and turn out the vote?
I think so.
And I thought that's a fascinating question, because when you look at it, especially in the midterm, only about 20% of people between the ages of 25, 18, 29 will participate. And so I had to go back over my own life. I registered to vote when I was 19. I didn't vote. That would have been, if I was 19, I would have been eligible to vote in the 76 presidential election. No, I didn't register to vote till after that. So that'd been 77. So I wasn't eligible. So the first presidential election I was eligible to vote in was 1980, Ronald Reagan and Jimmy Carter. So I voted in that. I've been voting ever since. I missed one in all those years. That's over 40 years. I missed one. So, and look, I think for younger people, and I took Frankie to register to vote. I don't know if Rhonda took Caitlin or if I took Caitlin to register to vote when they turned 18. And I have pictures of them the first time they voted. So people were saying we're in their house, their kids would, if they live there, they got to go vote. And then, the midterm is the primary, which is a little bit different because that's about party preference. And then you have the general election. So I saw a stat from 2022, that would have been our last midterm, where it was a higher than normal turnout, like 27% of young people turned out to vote in that midterm. Normally they're around 20%. I don't know what accounted for that. I mean, we were coming out of COVID, so I don't know what that was, but I think that's the second highest. Now, if you go on the national, like every 4 years, the presidential, um, and I'm sure, and I got to go back and I'll pull it up. I'm sure when Obama ran, there were a lot of young people who got out the vote, because of what Obama represented. Um, but if that was 27% in 2022, we're in 2026 now. I don't know. From what I was seeing with the unity, because, and I ask this question a lot when people are running, especially people who are former advocates. I go like, is it in your mind, is there a difference between being an advocate and being an administrator? I believe that they are. I think the administrative part of it, there is more nuance than when you're an advocate. You can be pretty absolute as an advocate. When you're administering things, you find out that you're dealing with a more diverse, a broader sense of duties and responsibilities. And I asked that word compromise, that's a nasty word. And for some people in politics, and then this idea of mainstream. So I have my feelings on it, but they're just my feelings. I think that there's a generational shift right now. What are we now? Gen Z? Right. And they're coming to age. Millennials are coming to age. And the baby boomers just won't get out the way.
For some reason, um, I don't I don't understand why they don't feel like, when that their season is up. Now I understand, like you might have got into a habit of doing this for 20, 30 years, but after a while, you got to get fresh new bloods and fresh new ideas in because we going in circles, and it's like we need some fresh voices, some fresh ideas to help the country.
In the back of my mind, I sit up and think about, because I am getting older, at what point do I stop doing this?
Right.
I mean, that's in the back of my mind. I mean, I think about it, and I kind of go like, hey, is it time to, when will it be time, like to let it go, let some
Yeah.
younger people come in. Caller, welcome to the program.
Good morning, Keith.
Hey, Rick.
I just want to say about your comments on socialism. Uh, the American version of socialism is pennies in the bucket compared to what's going on in Western Europe. And um, uh, people people in America who have a good job with benefits of insurance and Medicare still go broke on health issues because the American healthcare system is for profit. Most physicians operate for profit. I'm done, man.
All right. Yeah. And here's the other thing. Here's another one of those other things. When Henry Meyer was mayor, when I was coming along as a teenager, there were riots going on all over the country, and the Johnson administration released a lot of money going into communities, right? And they used to call it riot insurance money, right? If you give the young people something, a little money in their pocket, they're less likely to riot. Now, what they missed in all of this was that the overwhelming number of riots had something to do with a police involved death. You go to the, so it wasn't, and the money piece was important. If you put a little money in a teenager's pocket, they're less likely to get in trouble. And we should do that, right? But there was a cynical reason for why I mean, even Social Security, there was a cynical reason. And as much as people want to believe that it started off with retirement, it did not. The original Social Security Act started with veterans, and then went to retirees, and then it went to children who were, had an absent father primarily. So it's 414-444-5250, 414-444-5250. I think what Francesca Hahn represents is that there are younger people who want to see change. And I think that, and I used the word yesterday, the status quo, people in the status quo don't want to see change. So, I would always, people say we want to see, and didn't Obama run on change the first time? He ran on change, and that resonates with people. But the reality is that the overwhelming majority of Americans don't really want to see radical change, right? They don't want to see radical change. Caller, welcome to the program. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Mr. Parris.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you? Matter of fact, how is your sciatic issue doing?
Oh, good, man. You sound like a bill collector for a moment. Yeah, I'm good. May I speak to Keith Parris, please? And why? It's a lot better, man. It's a lot better.
Bill collectors gotten slick now. They'll call you by the first name in a heartbeat.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you be like having a regular conversation, then you hear, where the money?
Yeah, exactly. But I need to start real briefly here. I spoke with Michelle earlier. I think, I won't say I opened up a can of worms, but I opened up to the whole thought of socialism. And I think I need to be clear. When I mentioned socialism, I was mentioning not that I didn't like it.
Hold on. Let me shout out the good folks of the New Pitts Mortuary. Good morning, folks. Good morning. All right, go ahead, man.
Okay, sir. I'll be done. I wanted to be clear. I wasn't saying that I was a traditional Democrat that didn't like socialism. I was wanting her to kind of elaborate on the gist of it. And I think when she began to speak on it, she said the brother was saying that he didn't like socialism. I never said that. If I did, that certainly was a screw up on my behalf. I know my granddaddy always said, closed mouths don't get fed. And I kind of never understood that back then. But, if you don't ask about something, you don't know about nothing. So I just wanted to be kind of clear on that. And I appreciate the comments from.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Have you, it sounds like you're a boomer.
I am, and you said we need to get out the way, and you probably right.
No, I didn't say we need to get out the way. I said we won't get out the way. Okay, for whatever reasons, right?
I am so sorry. See how things get twisted.
No, I know, but maybe we should. But so that means that you have lived through many election cycles.
Absolutely.
Has socialism up until this year ever been an issue in terms of the election cycles that you can ever remember?
Obviously it existed.
No, but I'm saying where it was, this is part of a campaign, right?
Yes.
I mean, did you ever
making a distinction of the candidates as far as being a socialist and being a kind of traditional or no, you're right. It's just starting to really hit the surface and hitting hard.
So we have this, and I won't say they're a splinter group, but you have this group of younger folks or more progressive thinking, more progressive than the Democratic Party, who have come. And so people focus in on socialism. People focus on socialism. They tie it to communism, right? And and I'm only thinking maybe Cuba is one of the last communist countries in the world. Because if you look at China's doing a dual system. China's playing in the capitalism game. Russia's playing when it comes to oil.
Well, before Russia became, it was the Soviet Union. However, when it came just Russia in general, you're saying it's no longer communist?
Yeah, Russia is, but Russia
was a communist when it was when it was
the Soviet Union, right? But the nation of Russia, I mean, they do business. I mean, they're out. They're part of the capitalistic system, and what keeps them in that is oil. So yeah, so when people talk about where it started, the Marxist Leninists of the world, Karl Marx and Lenin, they moved so far away from that for practical reasons, because you got to be able to feed your folks, and what they discovered was that, you could do this, but you might want to figure out some other ways to generate income. And the Chinese figured it out. So they have the second largest economy in the world, and they call themselves communists, but they're still doing, well, it could be mercantilism, it could be capitalism, so pure communism has gone. Now the socialism piece is in America. There was a socialist and a communist, because in the 50s, remember the hearings that they were having, the House Un-American Act committee going after people who were alleged communists. Well, there was a communist movement after World War I. A lot of it was disgruntled veterans. There was also the same thing we're kind of seeing today, where the divide between the rich and the poor was growing. People are suffering, and then we get the Depression. And so now populism.
How do we distinguish? How do we take this ideal of socialism and incorporate it in a way where, for instance, where I'm trying to go with this is we saying now it's so. The way it was brought out earlier, with the Social Security. Yes, I'm paid, retirement monies because what I earned X amount of dollars, this and that. Somebody else brought up some people get Social Security and they didn't work a dime in their life. So where's that distinction? Let's just use that. Where is that distinction of the ones that might not have paved their way versus the ones that have paved their way? So obviously socialism, is it fair to say that socialism has been impacted in a sense both parties, or one over the other, or how does that work? If you kind of follow what I'm saying.
When I hear that, look, most of us, and because
I don't think it's fair, but it is real.
Humans are living longer, so at some point we're taking more out of than we put in the system. Okay, so you
say we as taxpayers,
we as boomers. I'm a boomer.
Okay,
and so
I get it.
When you look, because the boomers are the ones who are in retirement, right? And boomers are living longer. And boomers are healthier than folks in the past at this age. So we're taking out. It was a little blurb, and they was talking about the life expectancy in the 30s, and I think that and this is how they ended up doing the actuary for Social Security. They said that the average person would die at 66. All right, so you made retirement at 62, maybe 65. Because if the actuary is true, that means that a lot of people are going to die. That's not the case now. My mother is 92 years old.
Bless her, man. She's still in the land of the living.
Still in land. She's 92
Beautiful,
years
man.
old.
That is such a blessing.
She's still getting a pension. She's still getting Social Security, right? So that puts in, and here's the piece of it. Republicans are anti-socialism because they believe in smaller government, because smaller government means less taxes. Republicans who fought. So the same Republicans who voted for the Civil Rights Act, those Northern Republicans, and who voted for the Voting Rights Act were the same Republicans who voted against Medicare. 63,
65, those two acts probably went into place somewhere in that area.
64, 65. And so 64. you had where they were relatively progressive when it came to these things about civil rights, about voting rights, about what was happening to Black and brown people in America. But then when it came down, they went back to their true Republican roots. One of the reasons why they hated Obama so much was because of the Affordable Care Act, right? Because part of that.
He put the label on that. He put the tie on that, and it was definitely something of today. And and it still exists. However, they took the name off it and used it for, like you just said, affordable health care, and it should still be Obamacare.
And you know what? And let me say this, because Axelrod and all the people around, hey man, don't let them use Obamacare. He said they can use it. That's the thing about Barack Obama. He wasn't a punk.
No.
He wasn't
But you know what?
He stood by what he said. He said, good, let them call it Obamacare. The bottom line is that we have expanded access to health care in rural areas.
Yes, we did.
That's why Obama was so popular in certain rural areas, because of what he did in terms of bringing in, because, you know, I think, and I always hear this number, I don't know if it's 1/8 of our economy or if it's 16% of our economy. When you look at healthcare, because it's been so monetized, is one of the biggest parts of our economy. So when
let's fast forward real quick to David Crowley. Do you feel he's going to impact those farmers and the ones in the far lands, and will you think they would put aside the color of the skin? And it's going to be a nail bite all the way to the end with this last two candidates for the governorship here. So, before I even finish it, let me just ask you this: like the thin-skinned people, like what's his name? The one that dropped out, Barnes or Manila Barnes, whatever.
Manila Barnes.
Yeah, thin-skinned, dropped out. Not seen. He was actually on your show the same day you dropped out. So anyway, where do those? If any of them candidates had funds left, where do they go? Campaign funds. Where do they?
There's things they can do. There's a way that you can get rid of those funds. You can donate to other political campaigns. You can give it to charity. There's things, or you can start your own political action committee. Transfer the money into that. So there are ways. I let me appreciate Mandela because he knew that's, even though it wasn't a scandal, it was going to be a scandal. And if you
don't quit. Quitting is not an option.
Yeah,
come on now.
Yeah, but quit is not an option. But he's going to lose anyway.
That's quitting is not an option.
Okay.
So you play sports just like I did.
Right.
You don't just punk out and walk away from the people.
Do. Sometimes the beating is so bad, you're like, dude, no mas. Roberto Duran, no mas.
No mas, but that's quitting. That would be remembered as being a quitter.
Yeah, but you're not putting that tag on Crowley.
I can't, because he came back and he won.
Then he came back
and won.
Yeah, but let's just say he stayed quitted.
Yeah, well, but that's hypothetical, bro.
No,
come on,
so I'm saying that, we can say that, but you can do more harm to your brand. I mean, there's going to be an election after this. Mandela Barnes might want to be a player after this. So don't do anyone to hurt your brand. Sometimes you need to step away. Can I say this? I know I got to go. Let me say this real quickly. When I had the conversation during Election Central with Tavis Smiley, the name he brought up was Mandela Barnes.
That was a nice interview, by the way, with you and him.
Yeah, I just got out the way. When I was talking to a guy at WVON yesterday, he brought up Mandela Barnes. Because Mandela Barnes has, and maybe not as much, but certainly he had a high national profile. And so I think people could identify with that. There was somebody else who called and we were talking, and the name they came up with was Mandela Barnes. So, and I think that was one of the reasons why Mandela got in the race. I think that's why some of the early polling said that, you know what, he has a really good chance of beating Tom Tiffany. He had the best chance of beating Tom Tiffany. But
I don't think at this point in time, even if he didn't quit, Crowley is actually like I have to agree with Michelle. He is the Wisconsin baby. He is the guy. He is that hometown guy that's been through the trenches with us. That brother, really
for Mandela Barnes. Mandela Barnes became 1%.
He came the lieutenant governor, yes.
And he came 1% of being the U.S. senator for the state of Wisconsin. 1%. So I mean,
but maybe it was some mental health issues.
I don't know what the campaign looked like, the structure looked like around. I don't know what you could do with so many people, and there were so many undecided people. But I think one of the things that motivated him to get in the race was that, hey, you know what, my name and look, that's politics. Politics is that.
I get it. But let me leave you with a thought, and I want you to maybe speak on it a little later. Tell me about real quick and about why is there been such a big fight within our own Democratic Party, and why have and it was even suggested last week that funds have been put into some of the negative ads that's been placed on Democrats by Democrats. Do you agree with that?
I don't know, but I'll pick it up after the break.
Thank you, brother.
All
Take
right,
care
brother.
now, okay?
Take care.
Bye-bye.
You're listening to Community Voice. The phone lines open 414-444-5250. 414-444-5250. Caller, I see you. I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be right back.
FM with your host, Keith Parris.
Somebody said Keith looking like Frankie Beverly.
Oh,
Caller, welcome to the program.
You do look like Frankie with all that white on.
Good morning.
Good morning. Since we got the little election thing out the way, let's push black people being at their best. Because I think right now, and I'm starting to see this recurring thing, we use the poverty for every excuse. We got to get away from that. And then this thing with our black politicians, and Cavalier Johnson did this, stop using the pity party, okay? Because it seems like every time it comes, oh, I'm from 53206. Okay, we know you're from 53206, but let me introduce you something. Everybody in 53206 was not junkies. Everybody in 53206 didn't have 7 kids, was always getting evicted. Show something of how you overcame. Talk about the great journeys in your life. We don't care where you come from. Tell black people where they're going. Because, see, when you're dealing with the white man, you want him to feel good that he's taking a chance on a nigga. You want him to judge you by your integrity and your character, not your pity. And this is now it's starting to be recurring. Oh, I'm from 53206. Well, what did he do? My grandmother was from 53206. 13, 14 kids, wasn't on welfare, owned her house, had a van and a Cadillac, kept it new. You got teachers and professors in 53206. You got mothers in 53206 who had kids, and rent was always paid before the first and never after the fifth. So we got to stop pushing this narrative that we're black, we're destitute, and we're looking for pity. Because I'm going to tell you this, the next person that's black that's running, they bring up that pity bull sugar honey iced tea, I'm not voting. I don't come from pity. I come from greatness. I push for greatness. I don't care where you came from. I don't care if you was a recovering drug addict. You're probably still doing dope. I don't care. Push the greatness of your things. Instead of you sitting here saying, well, I'm a single mother and I got 7 kids. Well, you should have stopped pissing them out after 2. See, some of this stuff is common sense. But if you want people to stand behind them, tell them where you're going to take them. Don't tell them where you come from. They want to hear the dedication, determination, motivation, and inspiration to get them to the other side. Don't tell me I'm going to lead you to the water, but you're going to talk about why you don't drink it. Well, if you don't drink it, what the hell make you think I want to drink it and you're not drinking it? That sounds like a setup. So let's start speaking greatness and let's stop using poverty as an excuse. Poverty is a mindset. When people say it's hood, it's a mindset. You chose to barbecue on the front porch. You chose to put newspapers and shower curtains up at your window. That's a mindset. That's not what we're about. And then we can change that. Then we can change our neighborhoods and keep them neighborhoods. Why do the white people got to come in and make your hood a neighborhood when you can do that yourself?
All right.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening.
And then if you really want to show greatness of black people, show how they smart, bright, and intelligent. You don't have to sit here and say, well, I go to church every day. I go every Sunday, every Wednesday, or they start speaking about Christianity. Damn your Christianity. Because I should have whipped you away when I seen you broke in my house and you tried to sell my washer and dryer for $10 when I should have put 20 knots on the back of your forehead. Okay? So let's start pushing greatness and let's stop acting like we some poor niggas who don't know how to act and we weren't given a chance for you to like us. You remember that commercial, Mr. Parris? If I can't have a seat at the table, just give me a chance. I don't want a chance because I don't want to sit at your MFing table. How about that?
All right. Appreciate you. All right. It's like love and pain. Oh, yesterday, Clark, man, it hit me. I don't know why I was thinking. I downloaded some Chucky Booker.
Chucky.
Turned away.
Play your games on me.
And clear. Clear? Yeah, man. I don't know why I was thinking, man, that put me in the 80s. But Chucky Booker.
Dude, Chucky was the dude.
Oh, man, Chucky had a nice groove, man.
Chucky was the dude.
Yeah. Why you wanna play games on me? Caller, welcome to the program.
Why you wanna play?
Caller, welcome to the program.
Hey, good morning to you, Mr. Parris. You were talking about earlier, getting out of the way and letting the youth or letting
before you do that, though, did your grandfather take a Social Security check?
He probably did, but I don't know.
All right.
But you know what? He was so excited. But he worked for the city for forever, So I guess he would, He did construction for a while. Matter of fact, he did the construction work all down around the UWM deal. Okay. Those colored stones that were put in. Matter of fact, that's his signature, knowing that. But anyway, man, listen. I wanted to ask. You said about the younger people's time to get out the way, and I agree with that. A lot of preachers won't allow young preachers to take over, and they died to him. They died to him, and the churches haven't been set up for leadership. As a matter of fact, the proper way. Now you got to try to have a voting process. You got preachers coming in and out because he didn't groom another preacher, a younger preacher. So I agree with that. Until this point, we have gotten out the way and let younger people come in, and it's leading us into a cashless society. It's leading us into for some reason they believe, and in a perfect world it should be, we should all be equal. Okay, in a perfect world, but we're not in a perfect world by a long shot. So you figure this here: if you bring everybody equal, that means we all wear the same. We all are government issued clothes, or we can only shop at certain stores, such as Aldi's, which would probably be a government regulated store, because as a matter of fact, Aldi's was the very first store I ever seen with an armed guard in it. And that their headquarters were located. Their headquarters is not. You can't just call a regular local Aldi's and get some action. You have to call the headquarters for the Midwest. It would probably be in Illinois. For the East Coast, it might be somewhere. I don't know. It could be in New York. In the southern states, I don't know. However, when you start talking, everybody's equal, and that's how it is in prison. My understanding is that you can only spend about $150 a month. So I don't care how rich you was, how much money you had, how many dollars you got. You can still only spend that $156 a month on your card, on your commissary. So, and if you equal that out to everything, then where does that leave the people that would desire to have them on? You get government regulated only cars. Like in California, you can only get a California emission car. You can't get that car registered, and it's not under California admissions. So just think about it. If we all had to drive electric cars, Mr. Parris, and when they said shelter in place or a grid get knocked down, you can't scooter move.
You know what, though? You're making the argument that people made when we went from horses to the so-called horseless, carriage, which became the car.
Yeah.
So I
There
mean
was
that's
no argument
technology,
about that.
man.
There was no argument about that.
And I would say this.
No, see what you doing is see what you doing right now. You going way out. Let's be realistic, man. Foolishness versus for realness. Now, when you talk about standing in line, so how many times have you been in line with cash to pay, and here goes somebody's car keep rejecting, and they got the
I don't carry cash. I think I have $6 in my wallet.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna get stuck up for
But
$6.
that's the logic. That's the logic behind going cashless. We don't have to worry about being robbed. We don't have to worry about our.
I get mad when I see people paying in cash. Use
Huh?
your card. I get mad when I see people paying in cash.
Why? When it moves so fast.
No, because the people there, they don't even know how to really count cash and give you your change.
Those are the new people that you're talking about. Get out the way, folks.
Yeah, but you gotta train them because if you train
electronic,
because if you train them, then they will know. But if you don't train them and put them in position, of course.
But math, you're supposed to know basic math coming right out of school.
Yeah, but because of how they learn and because of
how they learn? They learn with calculators, sir.
Yeah,
they learn with calculators on their desk.
I wish we could have used calculators, man. I mean, people want you to be able to do it. I think you should. That's good. Part of your pedagogy growing up is that you learn how to do math. You learn how to spell. We have an argument about cursive, and I'm going, we don't use it. It's like Latin. We don't speak it.
Hold on. Can I say this to you? I'm glad you said that. Because guess what, brother? If you cannot write in cursive, you can surely not read it. So therefore, if somebody write a document in front of you and tell you what it does says, you sign your life away. You going to the penitentiary.
You know what digitized writing has done? That we can actually read it. I don't know. I don't know what your handwriting was like growing up, but mine was awful.
Hey, look, if you can't write it in cursive, you can't read it in cursive.
But nobody's writing anything in cursive anymore.
Man, you'd be surprised.
Okay.
You'd be surprised.
I would be.
I gotta ask you one more question. The lower caller that just called in, he went unfettered. He had a whole rant, and he sounded almost like what conservative people want to say, but they won't say it. Okay, he went unfettered. You didn't challenge him. You didn't say one thing. But as soon as a player called in, you want to challenge me, beat me up, show me wrong, and I wonder what that's for.
To tell you,
you know why? Because you a hater.
Oh, okay. Hey, Meech.
Yes, sir.
Meech, you ain't hurt my feelings by calling me a hater because I acknowledge that I'm a hater.
Hey.
Right.
You just gave me a compliment. Come on, man. That's my will.
You give me a dose every time I call.
All right. I'm going to change the policy. We're going to treat players better. How about that?
Appreciate
you.
All right, man. Y'all take it easy.
He said, I give dude wide berth. He said, but when a player call in, it's obvious I got a bias against players. All right, caller, welcome to the program.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. Well, this has been interesting. First thing I want to say is this. Did we ever boil down to what Social Security for the people that are paying in and when it was set up?
No, but she's not
now, when the Social Security was first set up, it was for working people and it covered, you paid into Social Security, and then if you had a child that had a disability, it covers them.
No, that's not true. That is not true. That is
Are
not.
you serious?
That is not the original intent of Social Security. When Social Security was first done in 1935, the first group, if you go and read the Social Security Act, you will see the first group was veterans, followed by pensioners, and then children.
Don't go back that far.
You have to go back that far because you have to understand what Social Security is, and it has not changed that much. It's been.
When did they put in for your children of disability and you were working?
The disability piece had everything to do with what Medicare, Medicaid,
Okay.
All right. But yeah, I mean, you have to go down. They amended Social Security. It's been amended all these years since 1935. But the original group of people that was covered under the original Social Security Act.
Yeah, okay.
And so when people are saying that, and pensioners are like older age people, but remember I gave you the actuary. The average American didn't live to be 66.
Okay.
All right, let me do this. I'm going to have you call back because I do have a guest I need to get with.
Oh, okay.
All right, call me back though, okay?
All right.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Is this Norma Jean Brousseau? Did I get your right name? Did I do it right?
Yeah, Brousseau. I'm sorry about the delay. We had a storm, bad storm up here Tuesday.
Down in Chicago, in the Chicago
and our
area.
lights been out ever since.
Right.
And I'm sitting up in this house almost a faint.
Okay.
And I put a little charge on my phone from my car.
Okay.
But if you want to do the interview, I can go out there and sit in my car.
No, we want to hear your voice. You're going to be with us Saturday, correct?
Yes.
Oh, man. Would this be the first time you came to Milwaukee or you been here before?
I'd have been there before, I think like back in 2019, 17, something like that. Tim had me out there.
That was the 20th
it's
century.
been a long time.
Been a lot of changes since then. Oh man, so let's do this because we'll be real quick on this because I understand. And I was talking to someone on WVON yesterday, and I didn't get a chance to ask about how they were impacted by the weather that came through. So what is the music that the Norma Jean Brousseau's blues band? What can people expect in Milwaukee on Saturday?
They expecting some blues, but it's my blues. It's high energy. And I did 4 CDs, and I'm gonna bring a 4th one. I'm working on my 5th.
Okay.
So it's basically Norma Jean blues, and I do a lot of my own music.
Okay.
But I also cover other people's music too, like Howlin' Wolf, Big Mama Thornton.
I was wondering, did you do it in Big
I'm
Mama
old school
Thornton?
blues.
Okay.
I'm not into the rock. I do a little soul. I cut on my new CD. I cut like a R&B soul. I like to do that too, at a special occasion. So I cut R&B soul on my new CD.
Okay. You do that? You don't do that
I just
Southern
do
soul?
whatever people want me to do, and they always get touched by my music. And a lot of people always say, "It's your voice. It's your voice, Nora." And I know I'm gifted through my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And they call me Nora Jean, the Blues Queen, which I don't like. Just Nora Jean, please. You know, I don't like all this adding and stuff. Just Nora Jean.
That's a nice honor that people respect your game so much and what you do that they make you the queen. I mean, who's the last queen?
Yeah, I won the Just Blues Award when I was 2021.
Okay.
I won the Coco Taylor Blues Award from Just Blue, and then I was introduced 2000 and what? I think it was 2019. I was introduced to Chicago Blues Hall of Fame.
Oh, look at you! But you don't want to be the queen.
No, and I don't like bragging about it because we have a lot of queens out there.
Okay.
But the only thing different from me and them, I basically do my own music.
Okay.
I try to put my sound out there, you know.
Well,
I don't try to sound like
if your peers respect you that much, it shows that the work, and it sounds like you've been putting the work in for years. It's just just a respect for you and the work that you do. So wear it honorably.
But I don't let them know it though.
Okay.
It's just between me and God.
Okay.
You
and
know,
the listeners of WNOV.
And
the listeners of WNOV.
Yeah, I respect my fan. I love them so much, and I respect them loving my music. And most of my fan young people.
Okay.
And you know, that's what Muddy Water had.
Right. Right.
Most of his fans were young people. But I do have some old school fans, and they go crazy when they hear my music. But I'm not all of that. I'm just what God made me. And I get out there, I deliver it. Because I always say, if I can't feel my music, my fans can't feel it.
Right.
So when I do it from my heart. I do it, you know, which in me. I have to feel it to deliver it to my fans.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I know that, you know, you're there, and I'm really hoping that you guys get back. You know, something we hadn't talked about, but that was really terrible weather that came through the Chicago area. And so I know people are dealing with it. Miss Nora Jean Brousseau's Blues Band, she'll be with us Saturday at
Yes, I will.
the Summer Soul Jazz R&B series held at Rose Park. Look forward to having you in the city. Thank you, and be safe out there, and hopefully that you all get your power back soon.
Me too, because I'm sitting up here sweating like a Hebrew slave.
All right.
I hope to see you this weekend.
Yes,
God bless.
ma'am. Ms. Nora Jean Brousseau's Blues Band. Thank you, dear. She said she sweated like a Hebrew slave.
See, as soon as I heard her voice, she sounded like, I got my mouth all ready for some hash, and it ain't gonna get no hash.
Well, let me say this to her. If your peers are calling you the queen of the blues, accept that.
Yeah.
You know, I always use this analogy. Like if a bird sees a fish swimming and the bird says to the fish, you're a great swimmer, the fish is going to go, all right. But when another fish,
say you're
great, because game recognize game.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So the highest compliment you can get is from your peers, because your peers know what it takes to do what you're doing. Yeah. Right? Yeah. I mean, you know, like you can come up after I preach and say you did a good job, but when another preacher comes up and mean it, and say, you notice I put that in there and mean it.
Yeah, because they sure say it, but they don't mean it.
Yeah, look at all. Looking at the flow, looking up in the ceiling, and
no, you lying.
No, you lying. Caller, welcome to the program. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Mr. Good morning, Mr. Parris. How are you doing?
I'm good, man.
Hey, where is Norma Jean going to be performing?
She's performing at Rose Park Saturday, 5
Where's
p.m.
Rose?
Yeah.
I never heard of Rose Park.
Burleigh and
Garfield. The old Garfield Park, man.
Oh, okay. Hey.
You say, oh, Garfield, everybody know that.
Okay, y'all say Rose Park, man. I didn't know y'all put a shortcut on it.
You said Garfield, oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, me and Ernell Lucas was having a conversation, and we wasn't saying Rose Park. So remember we used to be down at Garfield Park? Because it was Garfield Park, man, for me.
Always been Garfield Park.
You know? So, yeah.
Hey, I seen Norma perform before.
Okay.
She is absolutely awesome.
Okay.
What time is this going to be on Saturday?
The headliner is on at 5.
5 o'clock. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thanks a lot. You guys have an awesome
appreciate
day.
You, man.
All right.
Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. If y'all don't know what Rose Park is, for you old school, Garfield Park.
Man, hopefully they don't get rained out, man, because it's supposed to rain.
Man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not the weather. Meteorologist Mano Candela.
Wah.
I don't control the rain. Talk to the Lord. Hey,
everybody getting all excited. She wasn't great. You don't go rain. You don't go rain.
You might want to bring an umbrella. You might want to watch the news before.
Boy, you talking about party killer. You don't go rain.
Like, oh, rain down fire. It's going to rain.
Man, you sit up here having a great party. You know you going to hell. Wait. In the middle of Atomic Dog.
In the middle of you going like this. You know you're going to hell.
Oh, man. Call welcome to the program.
Hello.
Good morning. How are you?
So is that rain supposed to be this Saturday?
I ain't talking about the rain Saturday. I just don't
Yeah,
do
because
that.
I want to go to Clinton Rose concert.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the weather is. I ain't gonna look at the weather for Saturday
But why not?
because they got two events going on. We got Harbor Park, which is outdoors, right? You know, and then you got the summer concert series. So, and
3
look,
years in a row.
I'm not superstitious,
3 years.
but I don't want to jinx it. So let's be optimistic.
One for the fire.
There we go.
Two
All right.
for the sun.
Okay.
But I did hear it was gonna rain.
It's all right. 3 for the Holy Ghost. It's all right.
But now we done had this mean it would be the third concert
The third year.
canceled
Oh,
because
the
of rain.
dude that came this year got rained out 2 years in a row, right?
Wow.
Yeah, he got rained out 2 years in a row. So,
But you know something? We can't change what God has planned, so I'm not
there you
even
go.
going to get upset.
That's where I am.
And then my next thing is this. Most of these jobs now, are they providing retirement for these young people?
No.
That's exactly what I heard.
401ks.
Why? Why not?
Because you know, when you look at that pension, the pension cost, the long term, Milwaukee County is dealing with this, right? And a lot of it has to do with boomers, and that boomers have kind of blew up the actuary. You know, again, boomers are living. Now, my mama was pre-boomer, right? Because my mama was born 34, but pre-boomers, you know, and you got you still have a significant number of pre-boomers and a lot of boomers right now. So, no, companies are saying, no, you do your own 401k. We ain't gonna put anything in it. So if you had a company with a fixed pension, it's rare.
Okay, let me just say another thing. Why don't you pay them enough money so that they can pay their bills and they can go for that thing? Do they do the matching?
I think what drives wages is demand, right? If there's a high demand for labor, then then the wages go up and the benefits go up. If you have a situation where there's low demand for workers, then the cost and the pay and the benefits drop or they stay the same. Because the biggest part of doing any business, biggest part of doing government is personnel, right? So the cost of personnel that's why AI is so attractive to companies, because I don't have to pay the computer the same thing I have to pay right out.
Okay. Now, when they first came out, now AI has been out a long time.
Yep.
First of all, then they were saying blacks are not getting into the game of AI and learning more about it. Now, here recently, I've been hearing all these commercials saying that the blacks are high users of AI on their job.
Right.
I said, now, which way are they going with this? First, we don't know enough about it, and we haven't been trained. Now, all of a sudden, we're doing more using it, and now worried if we're going to keep our job. You know, I don't know how they like to play us and confuse us, but I'm not paying them any attention. And the next thing is so much going on in this world, and I'm sure that's probably why it's so much mental illness. Everybody's trying to figure out this, that, and the other. And I want to tell someone, take a ride through zip code 53206. I mean, really ride through the large area. It is some Negroes living mighty good. Do you hear me? Their yards are laid out. They have boats in there. Their Cadillac, Corvette. I mean, they live in life. And so I happened to laugh and talk with a person. I said, wow, it looks like you have about 3 lots here. He said, don't tell nobody. I said, well, you've been here many years because everything is grown in. He said, don't tell nobody. How we doing over here?
Do you know the oldest black churches in the city are all in 53206?
Uh-huh.
I mean, the oldest black churches. And they're all in 06.
And your point?
My point is that it's diverse. I think people picked up on something many years ago about the number of people who are returning citizens, and they returned to 53206. And it has made some demographic changes. And because I can remember being in Metropolitan on 14th and Burleigh, and that was a working class neighborhood. I mean, it was people own their homes. It was different, but as it is in a lot of urban areas, the demographic changes happened where now more and more people coming in renting. But again, that whole thing about 53206 had everything to do with people returning from prison, and many of them were returning to 53206. And then after that, it just became this whole, it was your street cred to say, I grew up in 53206, so it gave you a certain cred, like, you came up the rough side of the mountain. I remember one election cycle said, look, I don't want to hear another humble beginning story. I don't want to hear another one.
Okay, well,
so
that's not exactly fair.
Well,
but at the time,
let me do this. Why don't you hold on? I'm going to take a break if you want to hold on.
No, I'm not going to keep taking up your time.
Okay.
Look, you guys have a great day.
You too.
And don't let Meech work your nerves. Bye.
I just got to treat a player better.
Pass the ball.
I just got to, well, we ain't got no love for the players. You're listening to Community Voice. The phone lines are open. Callers, I see you. We'll be right back. We got to show some love for the players.
host, Keith Parris.
I like that name, the All-American Rejects. You know, one of my groups I love is Rage Against the Machine. Like that too.
Nirvana, man, that was my group.
Who?
Nirvana.
Nirvana?
Team Spirit. That was my joint, man.
Man, you said listen to that grunge music.
Like I listen to Team Spirit though.
Do you?
Yeah, I still listen to Team Spirit.
All right, I'm going to be giving away some tickets to the Harbor Park Jazz Rhythm and Blues Festival. All right, I don't know what the criteria is.
They gonna cheat.
Okay, all right. Let's see what's happening.
Yeah, they gonna cheat.
Caller, welcome to the program.
Hey, Brother Parris.
Yes.
Let me call. I'm calling back. It's my off day, and I'm enjoying this show.
Okay.
Why am I getting feedback in? I don't have a radio on nothing. Anyway, so I got to put a label on that brother. He got to be the talk show bully because he hit on something there that was unfair, and what he was trying to say that he was criticizing you for talking to me for having just a reasonable, decent conversation, and that a whole lot of slang wasn't thrown around because he said when a real player called, that brother don't know me.
All right, I was going to ask you, are you a player?
Man, let me introduce myself. Let me just, first of all, before I jump into that, let me just say this, brother. I want to come hear you preach because you brought up something when you said when you step out the pulpit, people say, or some of the congregation members say to you, "You very well spoken there, brother. The word was very nice. Do you give it all to God, or what do you say?"
Ooh.
Do you say that God gave this to me, or I studied hard for this? What do you typically say?
I'm going to tell you what my mother said. Pray for me.
Okay.
That's what I would say. I would say pray for me because I don't know if I should believe you. So pray for me.
Brother,
I was teaching that
intense love covers a multitude of sins. You can't be like that.
I was doing customer service training, and the sheriff's department said sincerity is not required. So people say a whole lot of things.
But that's secular, brother. We talking spiritually. We ain't talking nothing about your personal work.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying for me, it is anybody who does. If you ask Rideout, when he gets finished playing, he might not feel like he gave a great show because he knew all the mistakes he made. I knew all the mistakes I made in that message. So it's hard for me to think like it was a great message. You're
your own best critic. I get it.
And my wife gets on me hard about that because I'll go over it, man. I mean, I am my worst critic, you know.
I get it.
And as people like to think that I am, I just realized that the biggest room in the world is the room for improvement. Thank you, Gladys Wanzo. You know, and that's how I operate. And I know that there are people out there, because let me tell you, if I come to hear Rideout, I'm gonna cut them up.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sitting there in my mind. I'm hating.
And he probably want to hear it too. He probably want to hear the constructive criticism.
He don't want to hear. Rideout know how I start off. I start off with my arms folded, and I had this real stoic, like face of stone.
Yeah, he ain't lying.
And the band working hard. They'll be looking over their shoulder. Did he move? Nope, he ain't moved yet.
But at the end of the show, hands are clapping.
Right. Then I walk and go. Yeah, all right.
I get. Oh, I need to just say this.
Keep it going, Slugger. You be encouraged.
It's terrible. I need to say this for Rideout. That wasn't hash, brother. That was you done drink all the orange juice.
Got my mouth all ready for some.
Got my mouth already. But let me say this, man, and back to that, brother. Now, so before I went to Robert Foden, I used to shine shoes at McKinley on 3rd and Center. And I used to shine for the players, the pimps, the Jim Dandies, the Big K's, the hustlers and players, the Art Neals, all the brothers that was in the hood. And one day, one of the pimps was sitting there and I was shining his shoes. And I didn't know because I was new at this. And I got some black polish on his white Stacey Adams stitches.
Oh,
and that brother jumped up. And I looked at him And he said, "What?" And his girl, one of his girls or whatever was there. She sit there and she's, "Daddy, just." I said, "Forget this. The heck with this job." I took off running. He chased me. He chased me all the way up that hill where Robert Fulton is
With some
on
hard
Center
bottoms
Street.
on.
And I was like, man, this brother gonna beat me down, but I'm crying and I'm running. I'm holding on to that change I got that I made in my pocket, and I'm running, man. And so I tell you what, you made the point. Game recognized game. My baby daughter down in Leeds, Alabama, right now is representing or defending Ebonics and Black language, and she is been taught by Daddy for the beginning.
Well, let me do this, man.
Let me just finish real quick.
Man, because I got to do this, man. I got people, they blowing up my phone lines, man. They want these
Go
tickets.
ahead, brother.
You want some tickets for the Harvey Park Jazz Rhythm and Blues Festival?
I want tickets.
Yeah. All you have to do is answer this simple question.
Okay.
All right. Who's the most famous person that you know that came from Leeds, Alabama?
Charles Barkley.
All right. You just won yourself some tickets, bro.
So my daughter lived down the street from his mama.
Is that right? Okay.
Yes. Well, I was just there last week.
He is the most famous person that I know of from Leeds, Alabama.
County. I appreciate the tickets, brother.
Right,
and I just want to say this about Garfield Park. The moments, the starlight, the starlights. Yes, sir. Tyrone Davis.
Let me give you a little background story. You remember the story of the Shy Lights? WAWA was sponsoring it. OC White brought the Shy Lights.
OC White Soul Club, I remember.
And the Shy Lights didn't show up. So I don't know if it's because the money was funny or what it was. But the park is packed. The park is packed because we're going to hear the Shy Lights for free.
And it's packed. You talking to grass and everything. Everybody, everywhere.
White got up there, man. He cussed about those. Man, he was tripping. We got him the next week. All right, man. Let me get your information, bro. All right.
How do I get my tickets, bro?
Hey, hold on, man. We get ready to take care of that.
Okay, man. I get my money, man. I gotta get my purse.
You better not mess up my shoes. All right, caller, welcome to the program. I would have did the same thing, man. You mess up my Stacy's. Oh man, we're gonna have a problem. Caller, welcome to the program.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I had a couple things.
Is this Solis?
Huh?
Is this Solis?
Yep.
Hey, Solis, how you doing?
I've been okay.
Good to hear your voice. You know, I love to hear you, and I love to see you when I see you. What's happening?
I'm gonna be having surgery on my eyes this coming Monday and the following Monday, cataract surgery. But I'm a little scared, but I'm ready.
You'll be all right.
Yeah.
You've been through tougher than this.
I had a couple things. Okay, the AI commercial I keep hearing on it's on WNOV. But is that somewhat of a good thing or a bad thing? And also the Asians is somewhat responsible for artificial intelligence. And at least we know blacks are working, because any other time they saying that we lazy and don't do nothing. Right. But and it's their time to use artificial intelligence. That's what I believe. And
do you Google?
I haven't learned that yet.
Okay, because if you Google now has a feature where I'll ask Google a question, it goes to AI. AI goes in and does the research and then just pulls up the stuff that you need a particular type of data. So a lot of people are using it for research. I know I do. I mean, I
know how to find WNOV in my AA meetings.
There you go. No, so I'm saying that like any technology is how you use it. Right. You know, and what it does. But technology does displace human labor. I mean, that is, you know, I always give the example.
That's the future.
When black people were down and they had to pick cotton, right?
Right.
And then they developed the combine. And so now you don't need as many people out there picking cotton because you got a machine that does it. So, right. And then I was talking to Clark and I asked him, you remember the Jetsons?
Mm-hmm.
And how he would be exhausted from pushing buttons all day.
Right.
And guess what we do now? We push buttons all day.
And trying to fly cars.
Yep.
Exactly. That was my grandparents writing those scripts. And now this stuff is coming to life. But anyway, another thing too, you made me forget. you was talking about baby boomers. So it's quite a few jobs open up at WNOV then. You know, baby boomers get out the way. Yours, KP, is
No,
one
you know
of them.
what? Actually, what was after boomers? No, Gen Z, Gen X.
I don't know what's after boomers. I just know I'm a boomer.
No, the millennials were like going towards 2000.
Yeah.
Right? No, I think it was like Gen X. Gen X. So that Debo and all of them are Gen X. They like that's those 66 babies. Because I was at the end of the boom. You know, they said that it would go from 1945 to 1960. I was born in 57, so I was at the end of the boom.
So who come up with this?
I was
Well, the
born
boom
in
was the baby boom
62.
after the war.
So that was the people that started having babies.
Having
like
babies
crazy.
coming back from the war, and we created so many babies.
But then,
Exactly.
but then I think I fall in Gen Y then.
Right.
No, you a boomer.
No, he's
but
not a
boomers
boomer.
extended into the
He's
60s
he just turned 50.
Yeah, I just turned 50.
Yeah, the boomers extended into the 60s because I'm a boomer and I was born in 62.
I wasn't born in the 60s.
You at the very
And not only was all the people coming from war making babies, they was coming off of Woodstock. We came out of Woodstock.
No, Woodstock was after you. You was already born. Woodstock was
Oh,
69.
It was in 70s.
No,
60,
no,
Woodstock was before that.
Woodstock was 69.
Oh, 69.
69, because when they were having Woodstock, that's when man landed on the moon.
Right.
And there's another concert they threw, concert series in Harlem, all in 1969. But 69 went to the moon. 69 was Woodstock. Yep. So you was already walking around.
A lot went on in the 60s. We lost MLK. We lost JFK.
Yep.
All right.
All right, dear. Caller, welcome to the program.
Yeah, don't put me in the 60s. I wasn't born in the 60s.
Good morning.
Hey, Keith, how you doing?
Hey, John.
Hey, how would you define circular logic? Because you're into logic and that kind of stuff. How would you define that? Is that an official term in philosophy, or is that just
I
a
don't
pop
know. I
culture?
thought logic was always linear.
Okay, so then, is that a pop culture term, circular logic?
It could be. I
That's
mean,
not-
circular logic would mean like almost like the circular argument, but logic always came to a conclusion. It's how you got to the conclusion. But it was always, as long as I can remember, we came to a conclusion in logic. It was just a formula that you use to come to the conclusion. The formula and the input that you use. Let me do this, John. They want me to take a break, man. You want to hold on to after the break?
Sure. Thank you.
You're listening to Community Voice. I do have some tickets for the Harbor Park Jazz Rhythm and Blues Festival in Kenosha this Saturday. So you can call and win the tickets. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Host Keith Parris.
And thank you, Zebra. My mom was part of the greatest generation. That was a term dubbed by Tom Hanks. Yeah, but that was the World War II generation. All right. Okay. John?
Yes, sir.
Real quick.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you. I'm glad to hear you're doing better. I've been in a similar position. I'm glad that you're doing better. You sound great. So, okay, so there's several streams. I've read, and I actually checked with the AI, that we spend trillions of dollars just doing our taxes, not even paying them, just doing them, like paying the accountants and so forth, and trying to figure out all the different benefits and so forth, deductions and so forth, that we've spent immense trillions over the last several decades. And then also the idea that you're correct on a technical basis that Social Security and those things were actually taken off of the socialist Chancellor Bismarck in Germany. The socialsecurity.gov actually has his face on the page. So in a technical sense, in a formal sense, yes, you're correct. So logically, do I get my money back? Am I a socialist because I take my money back that I paid in because it's a forced pension? Am I wrong? It's a forced pension?
Yeah, but I'm saying that you will probably, depending on if you're receiving Social Security, based on the original actuaries, and I don't know how much indexing they've done for that, the life expectancy then was 66, right?
Right.
That was in 1930s. Right. That is not the case. Right. Let me do this too. Let's see. Someone pointed out boomers are from 1945, 1964. Okay, roughly. And then Gen X is next, roughly 1965 to 1980.
Because when they grow up, is that what they like? How did they come up with those terms?
No, it's different. You know, the boomers were kids born, post World War II, right? Soldiers coming home from World War II and Korea, and creating babies. And so we created, because at one point, until the millennials got here, the boomers was the largest generation, right? So many kids were created during that period in terms of boomers. But, I'm at the end. A lot of people say 60. Some people go 64, but like Michelle, my sister, Debo, they're Gen Xers.
Oh, so that's the next guys. Okay. Right. That would be our kids, sort of, kind of.
So all I'm saying is real quick, man, because I got to give away these tickets.
Okay.
Yes, but actually we take out more than we actually pay in taxes. So when you look at it, depending on how long you live, and look, I'm a double dipper when it comes to Social Security, because my dad died when I was 10. I got survivor benefits up until I was 22 and I graduated from college. And then, of course, now I receive Social Security. So I've doubled, and I know that I'm probably going to end up, good Lord willing, creek don't rise, that, just being able, that was one of the reasons why I elected not to wait to my full retirement age, because reality is I could die before I ever get a dime.
Yep, that's for
You know
sure.
what I mean? So when
You got
people
that
kind of,
right.
and if you're going to lose a couple $100 a month, as opposed to never being able to enjoy it. And maybe that's why I have such a thing about government. Then I worked in government all my adult life. So when I kind of get to it, I'm biased. I'll be the first one to tell you. I believe that government and services are important. I think that we should always, we decided to create this country, and so it should be mutually benefiting. That's one of the things that should happen. I heard Meach say something about equality. And I understand theoretically, everyone is equal in America. Practically, we know that's not the case. But in terms of what the paper says, that all of us are equal. That's what the paper says. How it's being applied, was less than what the paper is saying. But anyway.
Right.
All right.
Okay, thanks.
All right, man. Appreciate you. Caller, welcome to the program. Good morning.
Good morning. It's me again.
Hey, Salute.
What I was going to say about the AI commercial is that the overlay for the underlay when they start putting in these data centers unwanted in certain neighborhoods. Right. And, that's what it's all about.
Right. Did the people know that there's a data center over on State Street in Highland where the old Potawatomi school was? Yes, there's a data center there. If you drive down Highland.
Over for 46.
And I saw when they were building, I had no clue. That data center has been over there now for at least 8 years, maybe longer. And most people don't even know that it's a data center.
And people got to realize the water change is going to be drastic. There's going to be a lot of deformities, just like DuPont, that pot company. Yep. If DUPO, a lot of people in that county and city, those cities up there where DuPont was making them pots and pans are deformed, because nobody was, well, whatever. But we got a lot of them.
Think West Virginia State. Now, DuPont is big in Delaware, but I think in West Virginia, where West Virginia State is, there was a DuPont plant there, and they talked about just how much of the pollutants they put in the water. And then DuPont was able to go to EPA, write regulations, and then exempted something like 400 of the chemicals.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then that stuff cooks off into your food. I hate colored pans, pots and pans. Always buy silver. And even that white crockery back in the day, you will see how that paint will eat off and then turn black. It'd be like a black hole.
Well, that's the whole piece about convenience and what we do. And think about it. One of the reasons that we have so much trash, people think, well, you know what? We're just dirtier and people just don't care. We have more trash because America, not everything, a lot of things are disposable, right? There's a certain shelf life that you have things, and this goes back to the early 20 something. The brother who invented the bulb, the light bulb, had a fillet in there that was lasting longer than they did. Said, no, don't make it last a year. Make it last 6 months, because then people have to then go and buy another light bulb. Another issue out here talking about the environment that most people don't know, the lithium batteries that are in our phones. What do we do when we dispose of those phones and those lithium batteries? Because it's very difficult. Now, at least you can go in and you can recycle, plastics. People don't want to spend the money, but you can go in and recycle plastics. It's hard to figure out how you're going to recycle a lithium battery.
Exactly, because they were catching on fire. They was having like little commercials showing people, and even in them first e-cigarettes that came out, those batteries were just getting real hot. Because even when you charge up your laptop, you notice how the battery part that plugs into the wall gets really, really hot.
And you know what computers are designed to do? Because if you have an Apple phone, if your phone gets too hot, it shuts down.
And then in the plug, Yeah, because I like the flip phone because I can get to the main screen. If I need 911, I can dial. But the plug gets real hot that goes into the outlet.
I have a charger in the truck where you can lay the phone down and charge, and it talks about you pick up your phone is hot.
It's hot.
Yep.
That is nothing but a combustion.
Yep.
Might as well call the fire department. All right. Talk to you later.
Appreciate you. That whole Lincoln Avenue school brought back some science that I remembered, spontaneous combustion. I don't know if you remember that in your science class. And those soak rags and the heat. Damn.
That happened to me. I brought some rags home from the job to wash them. They was all, rags we used to wipe up stuff with. So I washed them, put them in the dryer. We smell the smoke. You smell that? Go downstairs, the whole basement smoking. Opened up the dryer, I just threw them out on the ground. Like, man, had the whole house smoking, man. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know they did that. Yeah.
Caller, welcome to the program. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Keith. This is Pratt in Houston.
Hey. Oh, well, hold on, Pratt. Let me do this. I'm going to take a quick break. Can you hold on to after the break? Okay. Hey, you listen to Community Voice. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Yeah, Pratt, and good hearing your
Hey,
voice, man.
I just wanted to piggyback on the topics that went on today in terms of Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, if that's, part of the conversation. It's interesting when you lead into retirement, how things really come full circle, because you think about the income prior to retirement, you tend to coast when it comes to doing and experiencing things. But you don't realize once you retire how much more you have to make an effort to establish a budget, because when you mentioned earlier about pensions, I remember my grandfather was better positioned than I was because of the work that he did. Plus, he had Social Security. Plus, he had benefits from being a veteran. So, three sources of income that was coming in to help sustain his lifestyle, which was modest at best, but it was just interesting. Now, when you look at us, as well as, kids, they have a different look on things. We really need to work in the process of financial literacy so that we, in turn, as we get older, I should say our kids get older, they'll be able to enjoy their golden years instead of having to work themselves into the grave.
Yeah, I think that, and that was the, working for government, I probably took less in pay than I could if I would have been in the private sector. But when I looked at retirement, Milwaukee County, obviously it's a fixed pension. So I had a pension. That makes a big difference, man. I mean, it and then I think also because, we're boomers and we had relatively good health, we're still very active, and that's been one of the things. Like, there are people saying, boomers, you need to get out the way so younger people get jobs, but it's a lifestyle thing, right? I mean, you were talking about it sounded like your grandfather didn't have to make a lot of adjustments. I know I'd have to make 1 or 2 adjustments, right? Because you just used to live in a certain lifestyle.
You're absolutely right.
And it take money.
And I just think that, and also the situation of keeping in mind what your annual income was, let's say per month as it relates to, per year. And the idea of, looking at elevating, not sticking. Sometimes you have to change careers in order to make a greater impact as far as your future.
Right. But I agree with you. I think how we, I was kidding my colleague and asked her, did y'all have a color TV growing up? And she said, yeah. I said, y'all didn't? I said, my mom had 3 kids in private school, right? Televisions was not a priority. Come to my house now, it's just me and my wife, and we got 5 TVs. You know what I mean? So the relative prosperity is such, as my good friend, the late Bill Bergstrom used to say, he said, you know what? Your luxuries become necessities. So, things that, driving a certain type of car, right? I mean, all these things, as you get a little bit of money, you're able to go in. But then there are other people, man. My late pastor, he grew up in Mississippi during the Depression. He didn't spend money, right? I mean, his whole attitude towards money is very different than my attitude towards money, right? Because I didn't have to grow up. I mean, it was tough, but it wasn't that tough. That's great. Y'all playing with the kids right here, and I'm doing a program. Live radio.
I was going to tap in.
How you been, man? You know what? I was thinking about you, man, and I remember I saw your sister, and I always ask people how their sibs are doing. So, and I don't know, I think she told you this. I was talking to her, and I said, hey, how's Pratt Jr.?
Oh yeah.
We never called him Pratt. It was all when we was growing up, man. And me and Pratt, we go back. We like 6 years old, right? We were at the Y together. He was always Pratt Jr. Wow. Now I know people don't call you Pratt Jr. now as an adult, but I'm going like, yeah, how's Pratt Jr. doing?
Yeah, well, I put it like this: if you hear somebody say that, they know you.
They know you. They was there back in the day, man. They know that name, man. But it was just like, yeah, and it would be like some people, like I would just tell you, man, my mother always said I was her special child. You couldn't tell me that Junior wasn't Sammy Davis's last name. He was Sammy Davis Jr. Mr. Junior. No, his last name is Davis, Keith. Oh, okay. What's the weather like down there, man?
Man, it's hot. It's humid. In the mid 90s, about 92.
Okay. You in the Houston area?
Huh?
You in the Houston area?
Yep.
You know what? I have, my wife has an uncle down in that area. So when we're down there, because I got your number, man, we'll try to hook up.
Yeah. Let's do that. You know, because I was going to make one other comment, or it could be partial joke, is that, you know, being older now and having more time to reflect or project ideas or, you know, conversation futures. The interesting part about, I was talking to my insurance agent, and we were having a discussion about my roof. And I told them, they asked me, how long has it been since I had my roof done? I said, about 5 years. Then I told them, chances are the roof might last more than I last, you know, because you think about, you know, some of those big expenses when you have a home and you're retired, you're like, you didn't have that extra, you know, cash per se, like you had when you were, you know, working.
But you know something else? 5-year plans, 10-year plans. Now is next week. You know, I mean, that long-term changes as you get older, right? You know, because I sit up and think, you know how long it's going to take to do this? Well, when you're in your 20s and 30s, oh man, that ain't nothing but time. When you get older, you're right. It's a different view on time, right? Yeah. Because you know, every day and every evening I have at some point where it say, you know, you're gonna die, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, man. I appreciate you and thank you for listening, man. I always appreciate that. Thank you.
All right. You have a good day.
All right. Peace. I've known that dude since I was 6 years old.
That's wow.
Yeah, that's
amazing.
That's my brother's cousin.
That long, man.
No, well, you know, we were our parents had us all over at the old Y during the summer. No, used to be, you know, that laundromat there on 6th and North?
Oh, yeah.
That used to be the old Y, and then they moved to 12th and Garfield. Yeah. So we were in Summer Fun Club. All my cousins was there. That's where I met my cousins.
Wow.
You know, we were all there, and Pratt was there. Patrice was young, but Pratt was there. And man, we go back some years, man. I just sit up and think about that. Like, man, we do call people by those names that we knew them as.
See, but ain't it something how fast time go?
Yeah.
How fast
it seemed like yesterday.
Seemed like yesterday, yeah.
Oh, my friend, far away
in yesterday. Didn't the Beatles? I love that record, man.
Me and Keon said this: the most consequential group, to ever come out of America is the Beatles.
The Beatles.
I'm not saying they're the best band, but I'm saying in terms of having impact,
they had some hits.
It's the Beatles.
They had some hits, bro.
I mean, and because me and my guy was talking last night, he was telling me the guy that plays Charlie Waits that played bass for the Rolling Stones. He said has the world's most extensive blues album collection. And I said that you need to understand that the Rolling Stones and the Beatles had nothing but mad respect for people who did American blues. More respect than a lot of Americans had for folks doing the blues.
That's true.
So when I sit up and I look at it and I kind of go like, yeah, I can appreciate that. Hey, let me thank all the callers. You right out this hour, 2 hours did blow
quick,
by.
Man.
Hey, y'all. Good Lord willing, Creek Don't Rise. We're going to have some tickets tomorrow. Tomorrow's Free Flow Friday.
Hey. And it's my party.
Woohoo. Yeah. Right. And let me shout out DJ for coming in and working a little bit of Election Central.
Yeah, man. He actually did a good job, man.
Yeah, I have to pay him. All right. Clark Kent, thank you.
You went.
Jermaine, thank you. Debo, thank you. Everybody, all the callers, we thank you. The good Lord willing, Creek Don't Rise. Hope to talk to everybody tomorrow. And as always, go from this place in peace.